Hello. Good afternoon, students. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And the screen that I shared is also visible, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, great. Great. So before we start, I guess most of the students, those who wanted to join, have joined. So I'll take the attendance and then we'll continue with our poetry appreciation. So do we have Achal? Achal? Achal Parmar? Achal is not there. Do we have Bhumi? Bhumi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have Dhruvi? Dhruvi, are you there? Dhruvi Ajani? Okay. Do we have Anshu? Anshu Avila?
Present, sir.
Anshu is there. Do we have Prapti? Uh, Prapti Kunj?
Yes, sir.
The Prapti is there. Do we have Vishwaraj? Vishwaraj Jadeja? Vishwaraj is not there. Do we have Tasmay? Tasmay Joshi? Tasmay, are you there? No. Do we have Hardi?
Present, sir.
Yes, Hardi is there. Do we have Lean? Lean, are you there? Lean?
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, you're there, right?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
here, sir.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So last we were talking about Lin. Lin was there. Do we have Vishakha? Vishakha, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vishakha is there. Do we have uh, Harshdeep Singh? Harshdeep, are you there? Harshdeep Singh is not there. Do we have Sakshi? Sakshi, are you there? Sakshi. No. Do we have Tulsi?
Yes, sir.
Tulsi is there. Do we have Imtiaz? Mohammed Imtiaz? You are there, Mohammed? Okay. Do we have Ugain? Ugain, are you there? Do we have Avantika? Avantika, are you there? Okay. Do we have Avantika is there? Avantika is there. Do we have Disha? Disha, are you there? Disha Jadhav is not there. Do we have Vaibhavi? Vaibhavi, Vaibhavi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have Aarti? Aarti Parmar? Aarti, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Aarti is there. Do we have Khushi? Khushi, are you there? Yes. So, in our class, we don't have Khushi. How tragic, isn't it? Isha Jadhav said present. Yes, Harjit Singh is also present. Harjit Singh and Isha's also there. Yep. So those who are using chat, so I request that you better. Yeah, Harjit Singh, you're there, right? For that attendance, you are raising your hand, or Harjit Singh, want to say something? I guess it was for the attendance, right? Harjit Singh?
હેલો સર
Yes, Harjit.
આ મારી પ્રેઝન્ટ ફૂલ લેજો
हाँ पूरी लिखी थी
હા વાન
है ना ठीक है चलिए so I think Harjit Singh was not present in the last lecture so good to see you Harjit Singh okay so when we met last so what is it that we had discussed in poetry appreciation part 1 or session 1 if somebody could remember what did we discuss I think some of you are there
Sir, you have asked about our favorite poem or song and the
okay
lines.
and then And did we discuss? You said your favorite poems. I said thank you, and lecture was over. Were there some other points discussed also? Yes. Yes, you can unmute your mic, Hardi.
So we discussed that why we liked that poem and emotion that we use while liking poem or writing poem that is not occasional. It's what we can say. It's
Hmm.
like just on action. It spontaneous it is.
Okay.
And then we discussed about can robots write poems?
Okay. So what did we concluded? Robots can or cannot write poems?
No, robots cannot in present, but they might be in future. That's
Yeah.
what we
Future
concluded.
we don't know. Future we may not know. Okay. Vaibhavi wrote in the chat that we did write about the favorite thing, and then yeah, what makes a poem poem? That also we did discuss, I guess. And there were some characteristics that helped us. So, what makes a poem poem? Remember, we discussed that these are the characteristics that which makes a poem a poem. Otherwise, it's just a lesson. What are those qualities?
And it has a rhyme, and it is lyrical,
Okay.
and it is spontaneous, and flow of powerful and complex feeling.
Yes. So it has to have rhythm and rhyme. That makes it a poem. So that was one. Second, we were told it has to have what it should have. It should have something spontaneous. Is how it comes. So that we did discuss. Yes. So all these things told you about the poem. That what makes a poem, right? So that's there. To continue from there, now we are going to look at what is our role as literature student and as maybe critics, if you can call yourself that. So there we are going to try, and for that I'll try and share some of the samples with you. So what we did last time was about how do we do in terms of poetry appreciation, in terms of understanding poem, right? So those of you who are not say present due to whatever reasons are requested, that you can have a look at this recording. It will be available. We'll upload in our YouTube channel, so you can always go back to that lecture. Or even those who attended and had some doubt, they can also go and visit the recording, right? So I'll share the link with you once it is uploaded. Anyways, so for today's session, so let's try and understand the appreciation part. How do we appreciate? How do we decode it? So that's what we are going to discuss. The practicals of how do we understand say poems. But before that, we need to understand that how poetries are written first of all. We do have, I think, at least one poet in our class. So I think she may be able to help us to understand that how poetries are written, right? So, like what I'll do is I'll share with you a poem, okay, and a piece of poem. Just have a look at it and try and answer this question that you can see as the heading. I hope you are able to see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so there is a question to whom these lines, I think it should have S, are addressed. Okay, so then what lines are we talking about?
Yes, sir.
So these are the four lines that are there. Try and read this and try and find out, right? So to somebody these lines are addressed. So you need to go and find out. Okay. If somebody joined late. These are the four lines that we are talking about. In case you find some word, phrase difficult, you can ask. Okay, so what do you think? What the author is addressing it to? Is he or she is writing to whom? What's your guess from the given text? Yes, Hardik.
So, if I'm not wrong, I think it's written to to poets beloved who might
Poets.
be like upset from the poet.
Okay.
Might be. I am not sure about it.
So why do you think it is a poet writing to beloved?
So, cause there are few lines that like you be mine heart's reader, which and new of comfort and good and of good company. These lines are generally used for to
To
express
someone you
our
love.
affection
Yeah, to
to
someone
a
you love.
beloved.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine, fine. And why do you think the lady is upset?
Because yeah, because it says that beat heavy again, or or else might I die. That means the poet is trying that come back to me, or else without you I might die, or I won't survive emotionally. If I'm
Okay,
not wrong.
okay, okay. Now understand if your logic, which I think many of you also think, rightly so, that it seems addressed to by the poet to the beloved. Now look at the word last line, be it heavy again. What do you mean by heavy? What kind of a lover would want the beloved to be heavy? And that too again. You get my point. So here the author is saying that, dear, please be heavy again, otherwise I'll die, or else must I die. So, so is it about the weight, load, that you used to be very heavy, now you are not heavy, so I'm not happy. If you'll not be heavy, I'll die. What kind of lover is this? He likes healthy life partner, maybe.
Don't take me for granted, I mean.
Okay, so who is saying don't take it for granted? The poet to the beloved or beloved to the poet?
Poet to beloved one.
Okay, don't take me lightly or else I die. Is this you want to say?
So, what is the meaning of word lassie?
Yes, that's interesting question. Less is opposite of more, isn't it?
Less is definitely the opposite of more, but lassie, what is the meaning of lassie?
The root word is lessy, but the root word is this. Can you see this in the chat? Can you see the chat? Uh, so I
Yeah, we
uh,
can.
Yes.
so I use two words. One is opposite of more is less. है ना? So less, lesser, least. So that is less in quantity or maybe quality. So that's less. Other word that is used here is called less, Lass. That's an old English, Scottish, I think, and now it is used as an opposite of lead. Lead is the opposite of lead, and I'm sure you know what is lead. Yes. So what's the lead? Lad.
A boy or a young man?
Yes. So what's the opposite of boy?
Girl.
Girl.
Yes. Yes. So the word boy and girl in English, you also have another pair called lead and less. Okay. So there, lad stands for a boy, especially the young boy, and less is a young girl. But it's not a girl. It is the one who is not even a girl, not even a woman. So that age group, you say, young boy or young girl. So they use the lad and less. So here, of course, he is talking about you be my lessee. So that's an old English. I'll tell you the author, so then I think it may make sense to you. Do you know the author? Mean the poet Geoffrey Chaucer. Have you heard his name?
Yes, sir.
Who is he? What's he known for? Where have you heard his name, Geoffrey Chaucer?
लिटरेचर के फादर,
Father. Okay.
मतलब ऐसे ही था
You are
कुछ.
close. किसके फादर थे? पूरे लिटरेचर के, किसी एक जॉनरा के? He belonged to 14th century, by the way. 14th century, 14. He came almost 100 years before Shakespeare. Almost 200, because Shakespeare 16th century, Chaucer was 14th century. That means 200 years before William Shakespeare. But yes, he is considered to be the father of English poetry and grandfather of English storytelling, novels and fiction, because he was one of the earliest one to use English say language. In fact, he developed English language to great extent. Right, so it is he who wrote this. Ye be my lassie, that is, you be my girl, you be my heart steer. You know the steer? You are the one who drives my heart. I knew of comfort, because of you I know comfort, and of course, it's you who is of good company. Yes, I know good company and good comfort because of you. So please be heavy again, or else must I die. So who is the addressee? In fact, this stanza is the part of the entire poem. If I tell you the opposite, this opening line, then I think it may make more sense to you. This poem, which is addressed to something, starts with the first line. So these are first 3 lines. Can you see that? To you, my purse, and to none other I write. Complain I, for you've been my lady dear. I'm sorry now that you have been light in weight. So what makes a purse heavy? What do you think? What makes a purse? I hope you know the word purse. What makes a purse heavy? Students?
Money.
Yes, it's money. If you put money in it, the purse would be heavy. If there is no money in the purse would be light in weight. So, do you get the poem now? It does not seem like an ordinary love story. It is a love story of a dependent person on the resource, and that is, of course, the purse. Does it make sense now? So if a person is writing to the purse, now look at these lines. That you are my lady, you are my heart steer, because of you, you drive my heart. Because of you I got comfort, and because of you I get good company. So my dear purse, be heavy again, or else must I die. Does it make sense to you now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it is of
Yes,
course
sir.
a lover, but of a wallet, because of his poverty, especially during his the second last decade of his life, when the government reduced his pension. Right, the government said you will not be given pension. So then he was having some financial problems. So during that time, he wrote this famous poem to his purse, that, oh dear, please be heavy again, or else must I die. You see that? So this is what can happen. Now, I want to come to a point, but before that, I think I should share one more poem that I need. Some of the students in the last sector said they like Gujarati poems and Gujarati songs. There's some girls who said that, well, I'm not into English but I like Gujarati songs and poems. Who are there? I think more than 2, 3 students at least said that they like Gujarati songs.
Yes, sir.
So, who are they? Don't worry, I'm not going to take your test. I just want you to help me and my say international students, because the script I'm going to share is in Gujarati, and I want you to help to find out the speaker, that who's the speaker in this poem, which is a Gujarati poem. Students?
Falguni Pathak.
Oh my God. Okay. That's the author you're talking. Falguni Pathak is author or singer? This, yeah, the question is speaker. That means this poem, there is somebody who's saying, for example, previous poem, it was, say the lover who was speaking to the purse, beloved purse. Okay. Here, what do you think? Who's the speaker?
A lady, woman.
A lady. Okay. And what do you think lady is trying to convey? What is she saying? Please help our international students, those who may not know the Gujarati script.
Trying to cook, and for that she need some,
Fuel?
yeah, some fuel.
Okay, okay, fine. And when is she going to collect the fuel?
In afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay. So, what do you think this song could be called? Is it a love story?
No, sir.
It doesn't seem like a love at all. You know? So, what do you think? What it is? What the song's trying to convey? To the speaker, who is a girl who's doing her daily chores, daily routine. And what is she doing? She is doing in the afternoon, where rest of the family members might be taking rest post lunch, but this girl has to go to collect the fuel, isn't it? During the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So for the international student, let's look at the rough translation. That, by the way, it's not Falguni Pathak. Yeah, Falguni Pathak was the one who used the first 2 lines of this original, say, song written by Rajendra Shah, not the entire song. Okay, only these first 4 lines she used. So this could be the rough translation. Right. So, oh dear, I had gone to collect the firewood, that's fuel, and of course it was the afternoon when I went. Okay. So that's the author. Rough translation is not everything word by word, but roughly this is what the author is trying, isn't it? Through the speaker. So it's not a love story for sure, or a love song for sure. From these 4 lines, what do you think? Yes, no, maybe. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So does it look like the love song or romantic song, or maybe a lady who is talking about her daily routine?
A lady talking about her daily routine.
Sounds like that, which is true from the textual context. But it was Rajendra Shah, the poet, who wrote this poem. In one of the conferences, when somebody asked that you wrote this wonderful song, how did you write this song? What's the inspiration? He said, well, I wrote this song in Kashmir, You know the Kashmir? It's a wonderful place to be. It's called paradise on earth in India. So he said, I was in Kashmir with my wife, and it was my honeymoon period when I wrote this song. So, but what the context it has with the lady who is having daily core. And then he revealed that actually it was not Indrana Virva Gaiti, it was Indrana Virva Gyoto. That is me. Because he is from Gujarat, he went to Kashmir. In Kashmir, it's a colder climate. You cannot come out of say your say hotel before 11 because it will be chilled out there, and you have to collect your food and everything during the noon time. And before it gets evening, you have to get back to your hotel. And it is during this time he said I wrote this song, which says Indrana, that is not only fuel but maybe livelihood things. I went, and it was the noon time when I went, and I get back to my place before it was the evening. New meaning. Now, if you don't know the author's revelation, you will not be able to connect the dots. But how come it's a love song? It is not from the textual point of view, right? The entire song, not Falguni Pathakwala song, but the original Rajendra Shah poem is available. So all Gujarati students, I would request you to maybe you can go to this tahuko.com if you know. It's a wonderful platform where you can find all the original say songs and write-ups in Gujarati. So you can go and watch. You can listen also. Recording also is uploaded in tahuko.com, where I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. But the point I'm trying to tell you is it's not in the text. It is in the context and revelation by the poet. Only then you will be able to make out the hidden meaning. Isn't it? It's not there in the text. Right? It is hidden. It is concealed. You know the word conceal? Concealing. You know the word conceal?
Yes, sir, we know.
So what do you mean by conceal?
A secret, a hidden that someone doesn't know if it is not mentioned.
Yes, so that's called conceal. That's the process of hiding something. And the entire process of poetry writing, people say, so where lies the art, as they say? So, well, art, at least of poetry writing, lies in concealing art. That's what Ovid, the first or second century Greek philosopher and a poet, Ovid, said that art lies in concealing art. So what's the artistic about poem? What is the artistic about literature? Well, it is concealing it. You don't say it directly. You change the meaning, you change the character, you hide the actual feeling and actual context, and then you promote it. Then it is a critic's job, or maybe say those who are student of literature's job, to dig out the meaning, to find out the hidden or concealed meaning from that poem, right? So that's what say art could be. Now, this is one school of thought, those who believe that art lies in concealing art, right? There are others, those who believe, like Wordsworth, for example, is of the opinion that we should not hide anything. Poetry should be as simple and as straightforward as possible. People from humble background, people from not so educated background should also be able to understand. That's what Wordsworth think, right? That it should be straightforward and simple. It should not be concealing. It should not be complex. Language also should not be complex. That's what he believed. But there are others, those who believe that no, it lies in concealing art. If you say it directly, then it's not a poem. It's not a poetry, right? So that's one say school of thought. Those who believe that art lies in concealing art. And of course, the earliest one to say this was Ovid, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to look at a few more of the traits which I think would help you in order to appreciate a poem. So now, if you want to understand and appreciate a poem, what is it that you observe in a poem, or how do you appreciate a poem? You need to know the nature of poem. For example, we discovered now that what makes a poem a poem. Well, there are some rhymes, there are say spontaneous feelings, there are complex feelings, and of course today we discovered that one of the body of say thought, or school of thought believes that art lies in concealing art. And if it is so, what is our job? When I say our, that means students of literature or maybe critics. If the job of a poet is to hide or conceal the art, the job of literature student is to reveal it, to find it out, what is hidden, what does it mean, why it is written this way, isn't it? So that's what you should do. The question is, how do you do that? How do you find out the meaning of the poetry, or the sense that author wants to convey, or maybe trying to conceal, or maybe trying to hide? How do you do that? So if you could tell me, what should we do so that we can understand the meaning of poem, or maybe how should we seek what is hidden in the poem? So what do you think we should seek in a poem?
We have to find keyword.
You mean keywords?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you identify? All of them are words. How do you differentiate keywords from not keywords?
I mean, like, we have to find what the writer is like stressing.
Okay.
I mean, are there many other like Sanskrit word that is different from other ordinary word?
Okay. And in what context the words are used, you mean to say? You mean you need to find meanings of words, isn't it? Words that are used, and then you may be able to differentiate that, okay, these words seem to be keywords, isn't it?
Yes.
But in order to do that, you need to find the meanings of the words first. So, right, that's the step one. You got a poem, you read the poem, you find the meanings of all the words, and try and find out if there is any keyword, or if there is a word that is used twistedly. For example, we noticed in the poem by Chaucer that he used the word heavy, that be heavy again or else must I die. And that told you that, well, if it is a beloved, no lover would want beloved to be heavy. So that means there is something here. So that was the key word for us to understand that it's not an ordinary beloved. There is some special feature attached. And then we discovered it was the purse. So true. So that's first step we should do. Know words, and then of course try to understand. What is next that you should look at that makes a poem a poem? So first you look at the words in a poem. Then what do you look at? Remember what?
Rhyming.
Yes?
Proper rhyming.
Yes, rhyming. So only if it is rhyming, then it is called poem. But there is one more step called rhyme scheme, as we rightly said. Right? So there is a scheme that is there. How, if they are rhyming, how are they rhyming? All last words are matching, second and third are matching, second and fourth are matching. So there will be a scheme that will be there.
Yes.
So true. You need to know the words, you need to know the rhyme scheme if you want to say understand the poem. Yes, that's true. What next? What next?
Trying to identify the background or the emotion that is used in the poem.
Okay, and how do you find that? What do you do so that you get to know, okay, this is...
About me, it's like relating the words in a proper way, that how, why and how did the poet used this, for what reason and all that.
Can we say figure of speech play a role in that?
Yes. In fact, it is related to words and their meanings. So true. So figure of speech could be the part of it. How do you make out in terms of their differences, isn't it? adjustment of words. So Vaibhavi, you are right when we are talking about words. Yes, so we should find that who is speaker and whom is he or she addressing to. Interesting, interesting. So we need to find out what? We need to find out the speaker. That means who's the speaker? We discovered in a Gujarati poem that the speaker was a lady, but then we later on discovered that yes, she is actually he. The author is trying to convey through her. Plus, there was an addressee also. Was there an addressee in that poem? There was a lady who is saying that I went to collect the firewood, and she was sharing it with whom?
Her friend. सही है
Yes,
रुकी तो
Sahir. Sahir. Sahir is a friend. Okay. So, my dear friend, I went to do this and this happened to me, something like that. So, there is a receiver also. है ना? So, that's the speaker and the addressee. So, Vaibhavi made a point that yes, you need to identify who is the speaker, right? So, that's that. At times, the author directly tells you, or at times, it is author would use some character like Rajendra Shah did. He used a female character in order to express his feelings, right? So that's point.
Some poems also includes imaginations.
Okay. Now the question is, how do we find out the imagination? How do we decode the imagination?
In that also, figure of speech plays a role. Like we can say that hyperbole, it's exaggeration of words,
Okay.
which is not in reality. But then also the writer is writing the words, so
Okay.
it
So,
comes as imagination also.
true.
It can't
True.
be in real.
True. So that's what we do in the poem. Aarti made a wonderful point. She said, think about how the sound of the poem makes you feel, or rather, what do you feel when you read? Do you feel excited? Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel agitated? Do you feel romantic? What do you feel when you look at this? So, in order to feel, of course, you have to read and read closely. But then, what will make you say sad or happy or angry or maybe excited? Not just words, not just meaning, but there is something called tone.
Sound, the way we speak the lines, utter the lines.
Yes, the way we speak the line, of course, we are going to speak the way it is written. So that's true. But there is other thing as literature students, when we go beyond the words and let's say figure of speech and all, is called genre. You know this word, genre?
Yes.
Yeah, we call it genre, but it's a French word, so genre. So what's a genre?
genre. The meaning of genre is type.
Is a type. Oh, so what are the types of poem? Yeah. So what are the types of a poem?
Sonnet.
Poem, a lyric, sonnet, narrative.
Okay, interesting, interesting. So some people also call Mahabharat to be a poetry. So what is?
Epic poetry.
Yes, it's an epic, say, poem. So when you are reading, let's say you try and find out what's the genre. Is it an epic? Is it a sonnet? Is it a poem without rhyme scheme or with rhyme scheme? Is it a narrative poetry, a longish one or a short one? It could be as short as, let's say, some words such as haiku. If you know the word haiku, smallest. It's the smallest poem called haiku. So it's starting from haiku up to epic. So there is a wide range of genre or kinds of poetries that are there. So when you read, of course, you also look at beyond words. You also look at the length of poem and the type of poem. So that's what you also do. And what Aarti said may come here. The last one called tone. That is, you look at the tone. What's the tone? Is it the romantic tone? Is it an aggressive tone? Is it a sad one? Is it a happy one? So what's the tone of the poem? That will make you feel good or otherwise. Will make you feel happy, will make you feel sad. All these things will happen because of the tone of the poem. So what's the tone of the poem? Right? Based on that, let's say this, say poem on purse. It's about feeling financial crisis. But what's the tone of the poem? When we look at the poem by Chaucer, which is about financial crisis. But what was the tone? What do you think? What was the tone, say, serious and sad?
No.
Was it romantic?
It can be.
It was
It can-
romantically
Yeah.
sad.
Was it romantically sad, Rumi?
Yes. Like the words were conveying the romantic tone, but the feeling was a kind of sad due to financial crisis.
Mhm. Was it actually sad? Like, you're saying, oh, my dear, please have it again. And you're talking it to your purse. First of all, you're talking to your purse, an object. Is it not funny?
Yes, it is. Like
So
to
that-
talk something to non-living thing is.
and that too as if you're talking to your beloved.
Yes.
Isn't it? It's not just funny, as Vaibhav said, very funny. Isn't it? There is a term for that called, the tone can be called comic. है ना?
Yes.
It is the opposite term of tragic. When somebody lost a family member or a beloved, and then they are maybe singing the song that, oh, I lost my love and I don't know how life would look like, etc., etc. So that tone becomes very tragic when somebody lost the family member, or maybe beloved, or maybe the motherland, or they are departed from their homeland. So all these feelings may have that tone which is very, very tragic, that immediately makes you feel very sad and gloomy, which is not the case here. It's not only romantic, it's in fact not romantic. It's funny that, I used to have a great time with you, but now you are so light, so I'm not, say, feeling happy. So, the term light. So, it's called light and comic. So, that was the tone of the poem that we had seen. Makes sense? So, these are the ways in which you can decode a poem and to understand, and we will be able to reveal what is hidden. है ना? A job of a poet would be to conceal it or to hide it. Job of a literature student, which all of you are, would be to find out what author wants to say or what he actually wanted to say. Right? So by asking these questions, by maybe following these steps, finding the words, their meaning, the rhyme scheme, or maybe the speaker, maybe the genre, and of course the tone, you will be able to understand the poem better. Isn't it? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Great, great. So now, how do you identify the rhyme scheme? I'll give you one small practical. Okay, so what do you think is the rhyme scheme here? It's a very famous poem. Some of you might have studied it, I think, in the high school.
ABA,
Okay.
ABA,
Hmm.
CCD.
Okay. Okay. Take your time. Take your time. Others can also try. How do you decide? Is it AB, or is it ABAC, or whatever?
Should I explain?
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. Others can also, in the meantime, try.
It's ABABCC.
ABABCC. So that's one option. Other, I think, was different option. D was also there.
So,
Yes.
so it's ABABCC.
Okay. There is no D there.
No.
There is no D. Okay. There are only three: AB, AB, and CC. You all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So you can see cloud rhymes with crowd, hills rhymes with daffodils, trees rhymes with breeze, because trees and breeze having no sense or rhyming with A or B, that's why you name it separately. So how do you call it? A B A B C C. All of you can see that.
Yes.
So this is the choice an author would have, right? That I want to go for A B A B C C or A B A B A B. See that? And that's one stanza, the first stanza of a very famous say poem by William Wordsworth called Daffodils. Have you heard this name before, Daffodils?
Yes, in my school days in
And
sixth
do you
standard.
remember? Do you remember?
Yes,
I wondered
it was
lonely
one
as
of
a cloud.
hardest for me
Okay. Why do you find it hardest?
because I was a Gujarati medium student and I was directly transferred into CBSE and it
Oh,
was first time really hard for me.
yes. And also, has anybody seen daffodils? What is a daffodil?
It is a wild yellowish flower.
Okay. Do we
It
have
could be
it in
yellow.
India? Do we have it in India?
Yes, might be it. They are generally in generally seen in farms and those commonly used lands that we what we can say like common flowers that can be generally seen everywhere.
But is it common in India? Daffodils are not common in India. In fact, not common in Asia. Daffodils are found in European countries, not in Indian countries. Like penguin as birds, we don't have penguins, and that's why there is no word for the word penguin. We do have pigeons, we do have roses, we do have lotus, and that's why we have the word for these birds and maybe birds and flower. So that also could be one of the reasons why you found it difficult, because the objects that are referred in a poem, if you don't know, you will not be able to connect. Of course, the language is also a problem if it is a new language for you, but also the objects that the author is using. Let's say daffodils. We have never seen daffodils in India, and that could also be the reasons, right? So that's there. So now, what do you think author's tone here? So I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats, the cloud that floats on the high over wells and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd. Crowd of what? Crowd, a host of golden daffodils. है ना? Or golden daffodils. Besides or beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. What's the tone?
Sad.
Descriptive.
Like he is bored.
Okay, bored and sad. Okay.
No, it's like
Lonely.
enjoying the nature.
You can be sad and also enjoy, right?
The whole summary of the poem is like that the poet is bored and he's feeling lonely and restless.
Which summary are you referring?
Actually, I like this poem was in my school time only. I had also learned, so I don't know. I had learned this summary, so I'm saying.
Yeah. You did not learn, you followed somebody else's summary.
Yeah, actually, I did not learn. I followed only because in school time we used to follow teachers.
Yeah, yeah. But now you are independent literature student, okay? So now first impression should be your impression. You have a
Yes.
poem, I'm sure you'll find it on Google. Find it, read it. Yeah, your English is better than when you were in 6th standard. All of you? It's much better now. Your language is much better. So you read and try and understand that is it sad, is it lonely, or is it jolly and happy? Ecstatic.
He was feeling lonely, but after seeing the nature, he starts feeling happy.
Yes, yes. So he transformed. He was wandering lonely, but suddenly when he looked at these bunch of flowers, he was overjoyed. So overjoyed that he wrote a poem. Do you see that? So that's what poetry does, right? So that's what the tone would do to you. And now He's going one step ahead. That no, I felt so relieved and so happy. I want to pass this happiness to others through the means of my say poem. So as you can see, this is the rhyme scheme that you all discovered. है ना? And what the tone, as you can see, tone is that of serene and joy and something that makes you feel happy and calm. You see that? And that's what the impact of natural beauty would be on the human mind. You see that? So this is how, if you can say try, you would be able to decode and understand. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So now on, don't buy anybody's summary, don't buy anybody's opinion. You read it, you decode it, and you understand it. Have your opinion. It could be right, it could be wrong, it could be whatever, but it would be yours. And as a literature student, this is minimum that you should do. If you cannot write a poem, that's fine, but you should be able to appreciate a poem like this. Hannah?
Yes.
Great, great. So let's look at one more poem, and now I'm sure you'll be able to find out the addressing. Okay, so these are the first 4 lines of a song. So who's writing to whom? Yeah, what it looks like. The author or the speaker seems to be what? Self. Okay, child to mother maybe. Okay,
It's showing the relation, like
of
strong relation
of
of वो ही नहीं पता किसका. It might be of
it's
child
about
or
a
mother.
female, right? It's about a
Yes.
female. She.
It's about a female. It may be about a boy or a girl.
By whom? What's your guess?
By boy to a girl.
Or
It's
maybe
a
a
song.
male.
It's an American song, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
I had listened it once.
Okay.
It's by whom I don't know, but it's an American song.
Fine.
I
Whosoever
know
is
this
telling
much.
us. Okay. Okay. So let's see the other lines which may help you. So the author is talking about she, which is third person singular. She is not the second person, right? She is the third person. For example, I am telling you about a poem. So it is my third person. So I am telling you, you are the second. The poem is the third person. Here, author is telling us or to somebody about her. So she is the third person.
Yes.
So we are told about she by author. It could be male, it could be female. है ना?
Yes.
You see the addressee, that is to whom the poem is written.
So, sir, that she is defining
We
the
want to
third
find out
person.
second person.
One by one. Yeah. So we just need to find out the second person. That author is telling it to whom? Definitely not to her. Right? It is about her,
Okay,
but
author
not
is
to her. Yes.
okay. Author is telling to someone that she's like, but
She
whom?
is caring and kind and
Yeah.
all those qualities that she has. Okay. So that's what author is doing to maybe us, to maybe somebody else. Okay, Tulsi said it is about child to mother, maybe. Okay, yes, Aarti. Aarti? raised your hand, Aarti. Please unmute your
Yes, sir.
mic. Yes, Aarti.
In general song, the song is a fleeting story.
Bacha, your voice is cracking, Aarti. What are you saying?
Sir, this song is a fleeting story. The main actor of it, that is first partner or the lover, knows almost everything about him.
Okay.
It's a fleeting story.
Story. I think somebody's mic is not mute. Uh, yes. Harshjeet, are you there? Harshjeet is not with us. He's with somebody else, I think. I know. So it's okay if you are not with us, but don't make us feel bad by keeping your mic unmute. Anyway, so the poem has a certain layer. So let's try and discover a few more lines and let's see if poem opens up to us. So let's see. One more quality you are told that whenever I am discouraged, she knows just what to do. But girl, she doesn't know about you. So there is an addressee. Do you see the addressee?
Yes, it's
Address
a
is
girl.
another girl.
Third girl.
Yes. Not the third, it's second girl. Third is she.
Yes, second girl it is.
Do you get my point? So author is not talking to us, okay? Author is talking to a girl about another girl. So do you think Tulsi still it is mother and the child?
A guy friend and a best friend, female best friend and all.
But definitely not the mother, right? Your mother would be happy to know that you got a friend and a girlfriend.
No, but if it is about mother, then no mother would be down in bed times. She would be like encouraging us in our bed times and supporting us.
Yes, that's a good observation. Yes. So only the life partner that if you are unhappy, I'm also unhappy. I'm sad with you. I'm also feeling bad when you are feeling bad. So yeah, that's a good observation. So does it look like a love triangle?
Yes, a bit tough.
Bit of. And what about the author? Is he clear or confused?
Clear, I guess. Because he described her the way that he knows and he clearly putted her in the words. It wasn't like bambling with words that could
And
be
so
seen.
is it praising the third girl, C, or not praising?
Praising the third girl.
To the second girl?
Yes, I guess so.
So he's talking to the second girl that, this girl, she's so nice. She knows when I'm lonesome. She cries when I'm sad. She's up in the good time but down in the bad. Whenever I'm discouraged, she knows just what to do. Such a nice girl. Problem is, she doesn't know about you. So what do you think is the feeling? Very sure? Or not sure? What do you think?
Not sure.
Like all of you are not sure? The author.
Yes, she is also not sure, and we are also not sure.
No, there is no she who is not sure. It is he
Yes, he.
who is talking
Sorry
about
for
more
my
than one
mistake.
she. So there is one he who is confused about two she. है ना? So half knowledge, as they say, is dangerous. It is Lobo, whose song we are referring. What I'll do is I'll give you the entire song. So let me see if I can find it online. Some of you said you have heard, and I'm happy that you are listening to something meaningful. Otherwise, this Honey Singh generation is irritating. But it's good that you are listening to Lobo. Some of you at least are listening. Let me share the screen if I can. Yes, tell me when you are able to see the screen. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the song with lyrics. Listen to the entire song, beautiful song, and lyrics, and then we'll try and understand what author wants to say. Okay, let's see. Is it audible? Can you hear the sound?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
She knows when I'm lonesome, and she cries when I'm sad. She's up in the good times, she's down in the bad. Whenever I'm discouraged, she knows just what to do. But girl, she doesn't know about you. I can tell her my trouble, she makes them all seem right. I can make up excuses not to hold her at night. We can talk of tomorrow, I'll tell her things that I want to do. But girl, how can I tell her about you? How can I tell her about you? Girl, please tell me what to do. Everything seems right whenever I'm with you. So girl, won't you tell me how to tell her about you? How can I tell her I don't miss her whenever I'm away? How can I say it's you I think of every single night and day? But when is it easy telling someone we're through? Oh girl, help me tell her about you. How can I tell her about you? Girl, please tell me what to do. Everything seems right whenever I'm with you. So girl, won't you tell me how to tell her about you?
Okay, so confusing?
Sir,
Yes, Bhumi.
can I try something?
Yes, please.
Sir, is it like the boy is addressing to the girl
Mm-hmm.
but he is saying about her only, but he is saying, like, he is showing that he is saying about someone third person, but indirectly he is showing that he is telling about her only.
Okay.
I'm also confused. uh,
Are you
I
sure?
I'm
Are you
not
sure?
sure, but I because sir, in reality, if we see, a boy cannot share some other girls. The boy cannot praise some other girl to other girl.
Ah,
Like, it causes conflicts also. And how can a boy can tell the third person about, like, वैसा कुछ है sir.
to
I'm
me,
not
you don't know
I'm not
boys.
getting
Definitely,
the
you don't know
proper
boys.
words. Like, I'm not getting proper words, but
Yeah. Do we
I
have a
hope you
boy in the
understand.
class? I wish we had some boys. Yes, Lean. Yes, Lean.
Sir, I am not sure, but I think the writer is having a girlfriend, and he don't know how to tell her mom about his girlfriend.
Uh-huh. Now, if you look at the line that says, I can make up excuses to not to hold her at night. So this line will tell you that it's not mother and the son. Right? So
Like, about past thing.
if they're already in a relation, maybe husband and wife, the husband has an affair, and he's talking to the girlfriend that, my wife is very caring, she understands, but now I'm with you, and everything seems right whenever I'm with you. But how can I tell her about you? That's the problem. You see that? Miss Hardi?
So about that, I have a doubt that
Yes.
when you said that, or they might be husband and wife, and husband might be having an affair with another girl, and is confused how to accept her girlfriend in front of his wife,
Not to accept.
or to how to admit that I made this mistake, or
If you
what.
if you listen to the last line, he says that when in life it is easy to get through something.
Yes.
That means to disassociate with somebody. That now we are
Yes.
done. It's not easy, especially when you had wonderful time, wonderful memory. And now, because I want to move on, how can I tell her? And how can I tell her about you? And he's asking is to the girl. Now he's associated with.
Yes.
So that's
So
the confusion.
yes, it's confusing.
And still don't buy what I'm saying. You can always go back to this song. They are available on YouTube. The artist is Lobo, and I'm sure you can find the song by Lobo. So what we tried here was we tried to understand that what songs can do. So here you can see it's a difficult situation for the man. It could be morally right, morally wrong. We are not trying to judge him. What I'm trying to understand, what we are trying to understand is that he is into a situation which is complex. It's not simple. If you love somebody, your confusion is whether to propose or not to propose, how to propose. Is still not that complex. Now here, situation is quite complex. Yeah, it is a love triangle. Yes, Vaibhavi, we did discover that. But the problem is that this guy seemed to be good guy or a bad guy. What do you think? A typical kind
He's a
of.
good guy, but
He's
he's
a,
a good, but he's confused.
yes, he's not a cowboy or a what do you call a Casanova type who keeps on changing girls after girls. He doesn't seem like that, isn't it?
No, it
Yes.
doesn't seem like that.
Yes, he
It seems
seems.
like he's very confused because he feels
Yes,
comfort with this girl.
yes, and he's not able to tell her, tell the
That he
first
feels
girl about the
comfortable
second.
with.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So he's not able to tell the second girl about the no the first girl about the second girl. है ना? So
Because
that's
he
the
cares also about her happiness. He don't want
yes,
to make her cry or make her sad.
yes, yes. So all these awkward, complex emotional feelings can get reflection in a song or a poem, and that's what a poem does. Okay, we can write an essay about it also, but it will not be half as effective as a song, right? So this is what your role would be. Now you haven't met this person, you don't even know whether this person exists or not, but I think you know him better now. This is a guy who is in love with more than one girl, but he's a nice guy. He's not such a bad person at all, because he cares. Even before leaving the first girl, he said that no, we had a wonderful time. I have respect for her, and I'm not in say mood of just leaving her just like that. So I just need help. How do I do it? Say as nicely as possible, right? So this is what literature students do. They try and understand and decode, and then try and read something which is not written. And that's what you should do while you are studying the poetries or songs and poetry that are written well. Okay, so that's for today. We are already exceeding our time by 10-15 minutes, so I have to call it today. So thank you for your participation. Now tomorrow there is a shift in the time because I've got a busy schedule, a hectic one. So tomorrow we'll need to meet by maybe at 2 p.m. Is it convenient to all of you? 2 p.m. Because the session that is 11 to 12 or something, I don't think it will be possible for me. I've got a session before and after that. So is 2 p.m. okay with all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes,
great.
sir.
So do we have some students? See, there was Arsham Singh, then Tasmai also, I could see his name here. Are you there, Tasmai? Tasmai Joshi?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, you are not there in the last session, right?
Yes, sir.
So today also you seem to join a bit late.
Yes, sir. I was busy.
Tell me the story. You were busy?
Yes, sir.
So what's the story?
Oh, family function, sir.
That's not a story, right? It's an event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this not a function? Is it also family? BA with English. Yeah. So you need to set your priorities. It's not only for Tasmai, but for all of you. That make sure that you spend some quality time, because here we are not going to just teach, but it will be like pushing you towards literature. And then, of course, you will be on your own. So try and do that. I'm sure it will help. So tomorrow we'll have the other session. That what we did in these two sessions was poetry appreciation. How do we appreciate a poem? How do we try and understand what are the things that we need to look in a poem, or what makes a poem, and then how do we appreciate that, right? So those things I tried, and I hope it has reached to you. So tomorrow and day after we are going to study the stories, right? So one story Tasmai should have told us, but he told us the reason, the family function. I thought he would tell me a story that actually, sir, I wanted to come, but then this happened and that happened, and ultimately I got late or something like that. But he did not tell us a story. He broke our heart. Anyway, so tomorrow I will try and discuss some of the forms, some of the basics of storytelling and other things, which I'm sure would be of some help to all of us. So that's all for today. Thank you for your participation. Don't need to be sorry, Tasmai. You should be punctual. You should be anything else but sorry. So thank you all for your participation. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay, at 2 p.m. We'll meet. Yeah, thank you. That's all for today.